Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine. The time to say yes to your dreams and aspirations is here.
Now, Uncle, what fond memories of your days at NBC would you like to share with us?
Oh, we used to have, and honestly, they bring it back, it will still sell. We used to have NBC, is this social night or choral night? Whatever it was a very special show. You know, they brought out the best in a lot of people. Either they would go to all over the country and bring some, go to Enugu, for example. I think, is it the Kelekele cultural dance? They bring from Benin, they bring from Yoruba, they bring from Hausa. Those potpourri of, cultural dimensions opened Nigeria for the world to see. Then they will also give you the best of choral voices. Somebody like Emeka Nwokedi, who is very strong in the Mission Center now. Yeah. He's a man who was with Voice of Nigeria. And Emeka Nwokedi is a musicologist, and honestly, I think he's a man who symbolizes the kind of situation I'm talking about right now. Every Christmas, you see him carrying his choral and song to sing Christmas carols. And he does other kind of music and all of that. I like such people. Then we used to have musical shows as well. Musical shows. People like Yinka Craig, may he so rest in peace. He even started a nightclub called Paradiso. Look, life was full of life. For us,
Uncle Soni, what would you say was the greatest lesson that you learned at NBC?
Well, how to be yourself, how to maintain the confidence that you never knew you had. And Iken Andaguba, may he so rest in peace, used to tell us, you meet a pothole, now decide whether you want to rush through it or you want to pass it gently. Now, if you see a pothole and you run through it, what do you get? It's a it's a bump, right? But if you pass it gently and it's not too obvious, you go ahead, you move on, right? So Iken used to say, wow, I said, sir, if I meet a name that is onomatopoeia, for example, and it comes in a long winding sentence of an English script that you said I should read, and say, well, the truth is that the onomatopoeia of, you know what he said? He said, listen, there's a friend of mine. He was also your friend. His name is Mario Tsugada. Mario Tsugada, I don't know what he said. He said one time, I think Marius was trying to say in an inordinate ambition or something like that anyway. And he got to the point where he said, was it him or Willie Egbe? No, she said, in an inordinate. He now slow down. Excuse me. In an inordinate. You are trained not to use words that will cause go slow for you. All right. Today, you see some people, they use high-sounding words. They sound like this man who used to be in the House of Assembly. Igodomigodo. Yeah. So, a true broadcaster must use the simplest of language. Wow. It's easy to flow, easy to manage, and then the calibration should not be the one that will put you in a mess. You should never
Wow.
fall into that at all for any reason.
Wow. I love that. FBI NAS, thanks so much for joining us. Now, Uncle, after some time, you left to set up UE Communications. What prompted the UE Communications?
Communications was one of those experiences because as broadcasters, we were everywhere. I was an MC. I was a music show promoter. I was, oh my God. Did you know of a place called Museum Kitchen?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you still know about it. Okay, good. Museum Kitchen had the best of jazz ensemble in the presence of Tunde Kuboye, who
Yeah,
really kept
Tunde
that place
from
alive. Yes. And there are people like Soni Okosons, Bongo Sikwe, you know, all those big names, musicians, even Fela Nikolako Kuti, who Tunde Kuboye married his cousin. They used to always come there, and all of us who were broadcasters, all we wanted to do was come and see the likes of Fela, Soni Okoson, and Victor Wifo. We just come in there and we enjoy ourselves. We will rub shoulders with all of them and we go our ways, you know. But the thing that was so good about it was that you always left there with something that is remarkable. I think Freedom Park reminds me of the Museum Kitchen today, which was at the National Museum. Freedom Park today reminds me of Museum Kitchen a lot, of yesteryear.
Wow. 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 I love that. I love that. Queen Falilia, thanks so much. Yes, Uncle, you wanted to say something?
No, I was just saying that, I mean, these are things that kept you on your toes, and you were just, it was always something to learn, something new. You always got something fresh. And apart from being a newscaster or newsreader, I was also a music presenter. You know, I produced my own programs. I created my own programs. There were so many things we were doing, and there was competition, healthy competition. That gave us the impetus to try our best. And sometimes our bosses who never wasted time with us, I remember my boss, Stella Awani, who just celebrated about 80 years. She's by 81 now, I think. Fantastic lady. You know, she used to look at us and say, "You think you are superstar, right? Okay. Wait till I hear your mistake. And you know what superstardom is." So, yes, you could not just get away with making a mistake. Come on. They will laugh at you. And by the way, what is lacking in radio today and TV used to be very commonplace in those days. What is it? It is the fact that every week there was something called presentation meeting, where all announcers, OAPs that you could call them these days, on-air personalities, and by the way, on-air personality is both you and me. As your guest, I'm an on-air personality. As my host, you're an on-air personality. So it's not restricted to announcers or voices alone, no. But anyway, to finish what I'm saying, they used to play back tapes, and you never knew whose tape was going to be played back. But everybody will be seated, and then your program of the week before, they'll play it back. You just suddenly hear your voice, and you're in trouble. Because that's where all your public enemies, number half and number one, they will deal with you. You know, even if there was no fault, they will find fault where there was any. There was none. You know, and it's always a very lively, you know, but woe betide that person whose tape was played back that day, because you will be in serious trouble.
You'll be the butt of jokes. Wow. Now, Uncle, you served at some point as the MD of Inspiration FM. What would you describe as greatest achievement at Inspiration FM?
Well, a lot of good things, actually. And achievements, I will not restrict it to myself alone, but to the good team I had at the time. And the team spread from the best, you know, to the most trying. It was quite an interesting encounter and experience. We always wanted to just be ahead of everybody. And competition was very, very key. You know, I got something from CNN in those days, said competition breeds, competition breeds is expertise or something like that. Quality, sorry. competition breeds quality. So that was always at the back of my mind. And so the team we were working with, I tried to imbibe some of the old elements, you know, like this tape I was playing back there, I told you about playing back of tapes. I tried to imbibe it in the course of, you know, being CEO of Inspiration FM. And then we also made sure that the programs like Sharing Life Issues, which is still on today, appeal to everybody concerned. We also wanted to make sure that people had a chance to learn something from everybody. So one of the things that I was happy about was that we were able to create a good relationship between the advertising agencies, because if they didn't pay you, you are in trouble. And you couldn't pay your salaries, you couldn't meet your emoluments, there would be problem. So there was always a constant, you know, interaction between us. But we also had, and we still have, a chairman who was very, very instrumental to ensuring that we knew how to achieve our debt recovery efforts. You know, it was a very powerful thing. So there was a stability in my time that I enjoyed, and that is still there till today. And I'm very happy about it.
Wow. Now, you've talked on a few occasions, and in the course of this interview, you've talked about your new venture. That's talking about the training institute or so that you run. Could you tell us about it?
Okay. The Soni Irabor Institute of Media and Communications is a broadcast training center that dwells largely on training producers, announcers, on-air personalities. I have to say those things because the people that matter are the ones that are on-air personalities, so I can't change that. On-air personalities, newsreaders, newscasters, radio, TV, and even social media too, because you have people like Azul now yourself. By the way, your namesake is the CEO now of the Inspiration, Azul.
Yeah,
but people like you who are doing jobs like this, you should come to my training school to get more exposures to the rudiments of broadcasting. Why am I saying this? Is because you're actually doing broadcasting, but at a social media level.
I need to professionalize it. I will.
And you're doing very well, I must say. Your birthday is what? March 25, right?
March 24. Yours is 23. Mine is 24. I know.
Wow, my wife's is 25. Okay.
Yeah. Because I usually remember how they follow the other. All right. All right, Uncle, with the benefit of hindsight, what are the other legitimate avenues through which a broadcaster can make money in your business?
Oh, there are very many. There are very, very many. But you see, you have to actually streamline your efforts, because you can't burn your candles at both ends. One, you have to specialize in something. Two, you have to make sure that you don't stretch yourself too much by being involved in too many practices, which may now limit your scope of expertise and then can make you a laughing stock. You understand? Yes. Okay, I mean, why are we saying that people like Alibaba, they've excelled? It's because, one, they knew how to charge. Two, they knew how to help one another. Or three, they were always researching and doing jokes, and they made sure that even if the joke was repeated, it was with a different flavor. So broadcasting, as a broadcaster, I'm a newscaster, I'm a music presenter, I'm a program presenter. I can do documentaries, can produce any program, can even produce my own documentaries. I can make films, I can do TV shows, I can do radio shows, and now I'm now even doing internet shows from Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. So what then must you do so that you don't burn your candles at all ends? Is like what you're doing now. This is what you're doing now, for example. If you know how to do it very well and you can, streamline it properly, it can be shown simultaneously in at least 2 or 3 other avenues, okay? And that can expand your viewership, your audience. Right. Then, apart from that, MCing, whenever I'm able to, even at this my old age, I still do MC and I'm paid for it.
Mm.
The fact is, I have to do it well. And if I do it well, I'll get more customers.
Mm.
You know, and what do you do? What must you do again? You must research. You're going to do an MC job. If you don't know anything about the job you're about to do, and you go and do half-baked MCing, you're messing yourself up. So you
That's
must
true.
research about the event, must research about the practitioners in the event, must research the key characters of the event. You must really know what to say, how to say it, when to say it. And come on, man, you have to also check the mood of your audience. So you don't go bamboozling yourself thinking you are the be all and the end all of life. You're not. You're just there to make sure that you make things work seamlessly, you know, lightheartedly, effortlessly, happily. Make the people happy with you because you're there to make them happy.
Wow.
How do you keep your voice so young like Uncle
So young
after several
after
decades
several
in
decades in business.
Terry Logan. Sorry, I had to read that because it came
Yeah,
out so
yes,
close.
I saw it. Yes, I was also going to ask you to respond to it.
Well, I take a lot of fruits. I've been taking that for years, non-stop. And I drink a lot of water, especially in the morning. Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm just lucky. I think I'm gifted to be lucky, to be blessed with that kind of voice. But man, as you get older, you begin to feel a bit of the rough edges.
I love that. I love that. Now, Uncle, what's your own personal definition of broadcasting?
As do I now.
We have few questions and we'll round off.
Yeah, broadcasting is already broad in itself.
Okay.
So it is an ability to disseminate information from one source to a broad spectrum of sources, of recipient, of people who will receive the information. And if you're lucky, they will give you feedback. And the feedback you get usually is the kind of reaction to the message that you disseminated. So to me, broadcasting is a proper element of from message from one source to as many sources or end recipients as possible.
All right.
It's very
Uncle, all right, Uncle. What do you like most about being a broadcaster?
to be myself. Just be
Okay.
yourself.
Okay.
I like to just be myself and not try to be holier than thou, not try to be American, not to try to be English. If I'm Nigerian, I want to be broadly Nigerian, that every Nigerian will understand me without losing or batting an eyelid. You know, so I just want to sound credibly understandable for anybody who listens to my voice or what I have to say.
All right. What don't you like about being a broadcaster?
You have no private life. Oh, I lost my privacy since 1979 when I won my first award. And 30 awards down the line, there's no end to it. It's not easy. I just thank God that I have a family that understands. I also thank God that I have an audience like all of you guys who have not been too hard on me, you know. But some people have been desperately hard, man. You can't beat that. Some people are just nasty. They just like when I started when I became CEO of Inspiration. Oh, I got some strange characters attacking me on Facebook.
What was the worst thing they said about you?
For several weeks. Oh well, then that I was there to act a script. I was there to bring down the quality of inspiration. That I didn't have that kind of thing. They were without that I was from an old school. Blah 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 blah. But today, I still they do my own thing though, and they still never old though. And I still have my good audiences. And guess what? More than 1/3 or even more than half of my audience the youths themselves. You know,
I
they are so
love that.
fantastic.
Wow. Yes, you're one of the few journalists married to their colleagues. Is that a plus or a minus?
It's a plus. I'm happy in my marriage, and
Okay.
I can never see it as a minus because it
Okay.
doesn't. See, she's a journalist. She's even more of a journalist than myself, and then she has her own magazine, which has excelled.
Genevieve.
It's Genevieve magazine, you know,
Yeah.
and what they're saying, is also it has leveraged its platform involving younger, practitioners in the employment, and also the audience is a big one, so it's an added plus for me and for all of us. Then my broadcasting is, as I'm gradually getting older, I'm settling for training younger people, and people who are in print journalism are also coming for the training, because my school is Institute of Media and Communications.
Hmm.
So
Hello.
it didn't say Institute of Broadcasting,
Hmm.
but yet the larger involvement for broadcasters, maybe because of my background, but I bring people from PR, I bring people from journalism, I bring people from different
Advertise.
genres of advertising from every area, and
We're
they
going
come
to
to
check out
talk.
the school.
We have experts
Yeah.
like Bimbo Loyede, Dr. Ken Ikpe, who is the MD of All Seasons Media. I think of beyond that now, So you have quite and then Lanre Adisa of NOASAC.
Hmm.
You have so many like that.
Hmm.
We have in the broadcasting level, Bomakaliwo, Funke, Treasure, Drew Dollar. We have all of them. I even involve people from the Pan-Atlantic University. And I'm happy to say that people like Dr. Richard Ikebe is one of us too. We beg them, please, can you come and talk to your students? And they will come.
Wow.
They will come.
Wow.
But we have to pay well, because we don't pay well. We're not going to come. And you have to, when you charge, these people will say, "Oh, God, you still charge." So it's a catch-22.
I love that. I love it. Now, Uncle, God has been so nice to you.
Amen to that.
What more do you want from God?
You should not leave me alone. No. God must not leave me alone. I'm such a bad boy that I always want to say, "Lord, I just want to do your will. I just want to do your will. Not leave me alone." No. And God must not and should not, and I beg God not to leave Nigeria alone, because Nigeria is at the precipice.
Hmm. All right. Let me take the final question, so that I can free you. Soni Irabor life. What necessitated it, and what distinguishes it from all the other programs in that category?
Well, I started by saying that I got the idea from Larry King Live, who I pray he survives it, who's not been feeling too well lately. Larry King is about 86, 87 now, almost 90. He's still doing his Larry King Live. If God allows me, maybe I'll be able to live that long to also do the bit I can on Soni Irabor Live.
Amen.
But the program has given me an opportunity to explore different areas of life and living. It has also given me an opportunity to talk to the high and mighty and the lowly as well, the grassroots, everyone who has something to offer. It's giving me an opportunity to look deeper into what life really means, because there's so much falsehood out there. People are in charge, they're given a responsibility, but they don't carry through. We blame leadership because we put them there and they have to answer to us. Most times we find that becomes a major hurdle for them to jump, and that worries me. And we, the followers, there are many of us who are doing like the leaders we are criticizing. So really, who is doing what to who? all the instruments, all the agencies, all the institutions have been established by the Constitution, by the rule of law, for you to do what is necessary. They tell you, okay, you should be the ombudsman of so and so and so and so, and you point out those errors. A wise man should say, okay, these errors, they make sense, so let's correct it. So you correct it so that you don't make the same mistake again. But what we are seeing is that there's so much too many comedy of errors in Nigeria that worries me to the point where I'm asking, where are we going really? We've got to do something right, you know, and we cannot blame leadership when we are not busy. We are busy not correcting our own shortcomings. Ordinary red, green, and yellow lights of traffic, we don't obey them. You know, I'm just giving an analogy that might shock you, but that's the truth. And we have too many youths who are doing nothing. We must look for a way to make them busy, keep them busy so that they do not become idle and so therefore do wrong things. The fault is ours if we allow our youths to be, you know, lawless, to be bored, to be idle. It's not right. It's not good. It will not help us. If your neighbor, you are doing very well, your neighbor is not doing well, you think he's going to look at you with good eye? I think that's the way to look at somebody. You know?
Wow.
So wahala dey town. You have to be really more. You have to be really more conscientious. You should allow the rule of law to prevail.
Wow. Well, Uncle, thank you so much for your time, for your thoughts, and for everything. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.